Hello, I'm Jane from Loopy's Place, and I'm coming to you from my studio here in Sheffield. Any noise in the background, it's the rain pouring down, so I'm glad I'm in here. Just done a tutorial for the upcoming quilting workshop, and been sharing how to create 16 half square triangles at a time. And I thought you might find that interesting too. So I thought I'd share it with you here today. So this is 13 inches square. So obviously this is going to change from quilt to quilt depending on the size of your triangles. So for this one, it's a 13-inch square. So we're going to mark it in half, vertically and horizontally. So I'm lining that up with a 6.5. So you're doing it on the light one so you can see the drawn line. I'm drawing this a bit darker than I did my test one because it was difficult to see. So there we go. That's all we need to do for this. We're going to mark those lines. I'm going to get my dark fabric and we're going just to lay them together, right sides together. So do make sure you're drawing those lines on the reverse. Right, so I'm just laying those together and then I need to take that to the machine. If you want to, you could pin it in place so it doesn't move around. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Just going to go to the machine now for the next stage. And the first thing that we're going to do is sew a 1/4 inch from the edge around all 4 sides. Now, I always go right to the end. This is just going to help because it just locks those stitches in on the corner because we're going to be cutting this soon. Alright, off, needle up. I'm just going to draw that out. Make sure my threads are going behind. I'm starting right on the end. Now, this is a much quicker way of creating your half square triangles. So if you've got a quilt that you're needing a lot, this is a great way to do it. I think when I first did this quilt, I think I was only aware of the 2 at a time, and I thought that was great, so much easier than doing it singly. And sort of each time you find a way to do more, it's quite satisfying. So to be able to do 16 at a time, it soon adds up. So with all of these, I do make them and give instructions for making them bigger. So once they're pressed, we do need to trim them down to size. But that does leave room for any inaccuracies with your stitching. And it does give you a nice, neat result in the end. So that's all 4 sides stitch around. Now I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch either side of this marked line. I'm just going to come around and I'm going to do the other side. Because this is in darker thread, when I show it to you in a minute, you'll be able to see clearly the stitching lines. So that's that way. I'm going to do next ones now. 2 more. There we go, last one. There we go. So you can see where I've stitched around. I've gone around all 4 corners and either side of those drawn lines, so we've got a grid in the middle. So now we're going to cut this. So as we're going to cut this, we don't want it to move around, so you want to take your time and have enough space really to be able to manoeuvre around. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut down the centre. So I'm just lining up my 1/4 inch line with the stitching line. So you're drawing a line along the line that you first drew. So that's your first 2 cuts. So in the centre of those stitchings that you've done, down the centre and across the middle. Now we're going to do the diagonals. Again, we don't want to move things out of place. Careful as you're lifting up your ruler. And then you're going to cut either way diagonally. And we've not finished yet. Now we're going to cut diagonally across each of those squares that will sort of form a diamond in the middle. That way. You just find it easier just to work your way around. And you're lining up your ruler here in the centre, these crosshairs here where you've sewn around the outside and across the middle. Make sure it doesn't slide. So that's 2. Again, I'm going to line up the stitching line. And 1 more. There we go. So we've cut down the middle straight down. We've gone straight across in the middle, and then we've gone diagonally through the centre of our square. Then we've come and we've cut diagonally across each of those quarters. And that gives us our 16 half square triangles. Now they're ready to be pressed and trimmed to size. I hope you found that useful. Certainly if you're doing a quilt with lots of half square triangles, it's a lot easier to do them so many at a time. It makes you feel as if you're making great progress. I'll be back soon with some more helpful hints and tips. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell, and you'll get notifications when new videos are uploaded. In the meantime, do take care, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.